Have you seen Coke before? It's really light, real porous, kind
Actually,
of
no, I thought
metallic
I
sort of looking.
had. Yeah.
They produce it in a baking process, so they don't burn the coal. They get it, part of it burning and get it hot, and then they cut off the oxygen supply, so they'll plug everything up. And it's this decomposition reaction where all the volatiles are driven off, and you're left with this porous substance, real pure carbon.
Could light this with the Bic lighter?
It doesn't burn readily.
Okay.
All the burnable stuff is driven off, vaporized,
Okay.
and that's what's left is very, very pure carbon. And that's why it's good for steel making.
Right. Well, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, so we're at the Burner 10 Coke ovens. We have a good example here. I think it's really beautiful, the construction.
Oh, man.
It's a really similar process for making turpentine and yeah, a specific type of wood charcoal. Not quite the same, but yeah. Where are we, Dad?
We're somewhere on the west coast of New Zealand. I don't know.
What's that? The Hokitika Gorge?
Hokitika Gorge. Yes,
Yeah,
the
that's
Hokitika.
Correct. That's right.
Yeah.
That's pretty beautiful.
It's just beautiful, man.
What was your most memorable job? Favorite job?
Okay, I had a couple of favorite jobs, but let's get back to the first job. One of the first jobs is throwing hay bales for Wilfred Lobb and or peeling pulp for Elias Mackey. But the first real job, when I was 16 years old, I worked at the Arrow Shirt Factory. They just tore it down in Virginia. And my job description was buttonholer right side. You'd take a quarter of a shirt from your ribs to the middle of your chest, and you'd flip it into this machine and line it up and hit the button, and it would put the buttonholes in that half of that shirt front. And I would do thousands of those a day. I had 5 machines. And yeah, as fast as you could move doing that. And I worked there just long enough to buy a leather jacket. And I quit.
Wow.
And I don't remember what I made. It was either 35 cents or 38 cents an hour or something. I don't know. It took me about 3 months to afford a $120 leather jacket. That job sucked.
That must have sucked.
I made up my mind then I was never going to be stuck inside. Favorite job? When I was young, I worked for a civilian conservation course, forestry, and that was awesome. We worked outside, went and cleaned off the sides of the roads, had bonfires in the wintertime to get rid of the brush, and took care of like public places, boat landings and stuff like that, campgrounds. That was awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Driving the water truck up at Tack Harbor, that was really awesome because I was my own boss.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Baptism River cabin and
Stupid money.
yeah.
Yeah, really, really good money.
Do you remember what the address of that cabin was? I've been up there before, but I couldn't pick it out. I don't remember what it looked like quite.
Okay, it would, you would head up from the Baptism River towards, coming back towards Ely or whatever, and it was the first road on the left, and I think it was the third cabin on the left, and you could tell it
Okay.
because it had a square gazebo between the cabin and the river with shutters on the sides that flipped up.
Yeah. I think when I'm back, we're both back in the U.S., so I'll have to go find it. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go to lake camp too and investigate kind of, as I understand, either Carl or even his father, your grandfather, had done a lot of the roads and built the facilities at lake camp.
Lake Camp, is that the place my dad told me about where they moved in the water tank?
I'm not sure.
They moved in the water tank and they hauled it across the lake on a dray, on a sled with horses with cocked hooves, with spiked hooves. and it was so heavy that when they were in the middle of the lake, you couldn't see the top. You could barely see the top of the water tank because that's how much the ice was sagging.
What world events have had the biggest impact on you in your lifetime? I remember you talking about, obviously, your time in the military. You were very fond of Reagan, you know, really.
Believe it or not, I was really, really, really young. But I remember watching the flag draped casket on TV and my mom just crying
JFK?
terribly.
Or?
JFK's assassination.
He's very popular right now. Well,
Yeah.
obviously not that popular.
Well, you know, all it takes is one
Yeah, lunatic.
or conspiracy.
Or conspiracy.
What other events, world events? Well, another one that really hit me hard was the space shuttle Columbia when that blew up.
Oh.
I think it was the Columbia. That hit me really hard.
The Challenger? Or
Challenger?
was that later? Maybe it was a Columbia, actually.
Whichever one exploded, the first one that exploded.
It was two of them, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but that was pretty tragic.
Man, I don't know why it hit me so hard. But yeah, I hadn't watched the space shuttle launch in a long time, and I decided to watch it that day, and that really blew me away.
That reminds me, actually, for me, even, like, I remember the 9/11 attacks, like, watching it on TV, and as the first one hit, and I'm just in shock, and then we're watching it live on TV, and then this other plane comes and you just hits too. I was like, you just don't even really, you can't comprehend what's going on.
That was going to be the third one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Daryl called me up. I was getting ready to go to school over in Evlith.
Yeah.
And he said, "You see that? A plane just hit the World Trade Center." And it was on my TV. All I saw was a burning building. I wasn't paying any attention. So I turned it on and was watching, and they said they figured it was terrorists. And I was talking to Daryl on the phone. I said, "Yeah, whatever. It's probably just an accident." And then a second plane hit, and he was watching a different channel. His TV was on like a 6, 8, 10-second delay from mine. So I saw it before he did. And then, cousin Amy was supposed to be working there.
I remember that, yeah.
And I went to school that day, and I saw it in the commons room, and watched that until about noon. And my instructor said, "Come on, get back to class." And I looked at him and I said, "Fuck you. My niece works there." Yeah.
Okay, those are three very powerful.
Hit hard.
Three very powerful, very negative world events. What about three very positive world events that have shaped your?
Oh boy. Okay, let's throw a fourth one in there.
Okay.
For the negative events was the night John Lennon got shot, and for other reasons. That hit me really hard too. So positive events. Good question. Falling of the Berlin Wall. That was really cool.
I even remember that.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what was going on, but I knew it was important. I remember watching it with Grandma. That could be local too, I guess. Minnesota.
A small
US.
event. Uncle Stefan making it back from Vietnam. That was a big deal.
I bet it was. I bet it was.
A lot of guys didn't, man.
The place. Pretty awesome, eh?
I want to build a fort, man.
Yeah.
Ron Jensen, where are you? Let's build a fort.
Like this route right here. It's quite short.
Well, this spot looks a little deep. Maybe shut the door then. Just check it out, man.
Okay, shower now. You can open it.
Crystal clear water. Dan Trudell and Frank Jacobson. I think we got to start a still here.
A little faster, a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. Oh, too fast.